Hey everyone, what's going on? Dr. Weird here. Today I wanted to go over kind of a instructional video on how to use Canva for making things like Facebook posts, Instagram posts, cover photos, overall designs, logos. I'm just going to go over some of the general features and how you kind of work your way around the website because Canva has been one of the things that I've used the most with um, creating some of my social media posts, but also my wife actually put together my logo on the website as well and has done some different things with it. So I think it can be crucial for people, especially for the fact that you can do a lot for the price of free 99. That's right, free 99. So let's take a look at how this thing works. I'm going to go over some basic details of it, but honestly, you can do a lot more depending on how much time you want to put into it. Let me share my screen here. There we go. All right. So first, just go to canva.com, create your free account. Not a big issue at all. It immediately brings you to this base page right here. So on your left hand side, you'll see things that are recommended for you. Typically, if you haven't designed anything yet, it's going to be pretty basic. Um, on the further down, everything that you've created in the past is down here as well. So if I'm going to some of my previous posts, you can see I made this little Instagram poster here along with a couple others. A thing that's nice about just the general layout of this, like, so let's say you really like the overall template of this. If you were to um, hit this button right here, duplicate page, you get the exact same one, and then you could just make whatever minor adjustments you want from there. So say I want to um, move this picture around, I could do that. If I want to change out the picture, I could do that. So let's say, let me find photos. No, it'd be under uploads. There we go. So let's say for some reason I want to put this picture in there. There, I can switch it out like that. Um, really makes it easy if you find just an overall template that you like and you want to just kind of move some things around a little bit rather than starting from scratch every time. All right, so let's go back to that home page. So then shared with you, so anything that's been shared with you in the past, you can then access and edit as well. Yeah, let's take this one here. I'm going to click edit, and you can see previous things put together have a bunch of different slides. Alright. Um, this brand kit sort of thing, it's the idea behind it, I believe, is to more just have consistency with colors, with font. Honestly, like it takes a little bit of work to try and track that, so I don't worry about that too much at all. I just know when I kind of copy and paste the different things that I've made before, the colors will carry over as recommended colors based on previously used in those pages. Um, this create a team also something I don't really use too much because if I want to share it with someone, I just click a share button that we'll get to. But if you want to make things a little more official, you can do it that way, and then just the folders based on how you categorize things. So let's go back to recommended for you. Um, oh, I should go over up here too. So templates, they have different, it's a different way to categorize it as opposed to scrolling through there. They have basic level ones, the different features that are there, how to learn how to use it. So if you want even more in depth than what we're doing today, and then pricing based on going beyond the free level. Again, I just use free. It's been fine. I know a lot of people that use the pro version, and you do get a lot of graphics and photos that you otherwise would have to pay for because they're not free. But again, I if I can't find something that I want, I just take a picture of something in real life and try and upload that because in reality, you want it consistent with what you're doing anyway. So let's take a look here. We'll go to Instagram posts. So I'm going to click that, and immediately you have different templates here. So say, I don't know, I really like this one right here. I can click that. So immediately this template goes in here. What you can do then is edit everything within this template as is. So again, let's say I want to change this picture. So I'm going to delete that. And instead, let's go to my photos or uploads. And we'll take this one here. And if I just kind of hover over there, boom, it puts it right in there. Oh, and right here, this button, as always, just undoes everything that you've done. So you can see it says Canva right here and has the lines. That's just for copyright. So again, you can adjust by putting your own thing in there, basically. Now, so let's go back to having that in there. All right, so say I want to change the text, easy. You just click whatever it is you want to change. So here is my text. No problem. If I want to change the font, click that, adjust, change font size, the color of the text. Again, really pretty easy to modify this. You can add things in. So say I want to add another picture in. So if you just really like a design that someone has and want to make it a little bit more your own, you can always do that. Now, I don't actually want to save that at all. Delete. So, all right, so I'm going to go back to templates. So actually, let's go home again. So I'm going to click Instagram post. So instead, what you can do, so see, I have this blank right here. I could start completely from scratch as well. So let's go over to elements and maybe I want to, let's look for borders. So just type in elements here, border. Let's say I want this one right here. Oop. I will say it can get a little finicky at times as far as um, grabbing hold of the image. So you can see I'm just trying to adjust the width of it. But if I just grab it, I can move it up in the corner there and make it take up pretty much the whole page. There. So we have a little border. For demonstration example, I'm going to use my logo on here. So let's slam that up here. Okay. We'll put it right in the middle. And then let's say, let's get out of here. So you can see there's all sorts of different options on things that you might want to put in. So again, let's say people always give me a hard time for running away. So let's look for a graphic of running. If you see that little crown there, that typically means you have to pay for it. But if you have the pro version of Canva, which I think is like somewhere between $5 and $10 a month, you would get that included with it. But typically, again, I can find whatever I want free. So let's say I put this in here. All right. I can also change the color of that if I'd like. So let's say I want blue to match the color of my blue. All right. Let's see what else in here. All right. So whatever idea, so let's say I want an arrow. Whatever idea of something that you're wanting, you can just search in here and you'll find elements that kind of correspond to it. The hardest part is possibly finding a one that is free that matches exactly what you want to do. So move that around. You want a text box, just click text. So you can either file, like, say you want one of these things so that you can follow the template that they have. Actually, that's kind of cool. I'm going to change the font size of that. Ooh, that's big. That's what she said. And let's change the color. let's go back to this one here. So document colors and then typical ones that my photos might have. So they make it easy to try and have that brand consistency as well. Um, so yeah, put whatever text you want in there. Uh, Videos, I honestly don't mess with music or videos too much at all because I just put it in social media, but that is something that you could have to make things a little bit more dynamic. Say you want to just have some sort of background in there. Let's say I'm gonna put this one in there. All right. So something that you can see here, we've lost our border. Now, why that is because the way Canva has it is you have layers to your picture here. And so the border is actually still there. It's just behind. Now, if we want to try and change the position so we can bring that border back, I can click this picture. So I just clicked on that. And then if I click, where is it? Uh, Actually, I don't even see it here. Usually, let's say, oh yeah. So I think it got rid of the border altogether. Normally, what would happen? So if I click this, you can see position here. If you click that, say I want to move that. Oh, you can align it like that. But now, so it's at the top, but it's behind all this. Say I want to bring it to the front. I can now move forward. So now it's there. I can click it again, move forward. Or if I want to skip all of them, I can click to the front. So one issue is if you have too many things that are layered on top of one another, it can sometimes be hard to grab whatever that other photo is. Um, but just kind of click around. So say like I can't seem to grab that one right there. I might grab this and move it away so that then I can access that right there. Now, I did not know that the having the background would get rid of that border altogether. So that's something worth noticing. Um, I don't typically use backgrounds myself. I just kind of, unless I make up my own, um, I feel like either there's going to be a copyright issue potentially, or it just looks too basic. I'd rather have something that's more personalized and matches the brand. So, to try and follow that, I am going to get rid of that. And instead, let's go ahead and upload. So I've clicked upload here and I'm going to find a picture. So I'm going to go with my morgue scene that I have. Click that. So it gets uploaded here and it'll stay here on the cloud for my account. So I can click once it's uploaded here. I can click this, drag it over here, and it is now my background. So that's pretty cool. Like again, you can just upload whatever pictures you want and then modify it as well. So you can tell maybe I don't want that full picture. So I'm going to click that. You can see that it's kind of taken out part of it. Maybe I want more of it or just one side of it. You can adjust. Now to fit the dimensions of this, it has to keep that. Now if I were to, let's say, get rid of that. So now if I just click it, it shows up in here and I can adjust the picture however I want. But if I were to try and drag it over, hold on, let me delete that again. If I were to drag it from here and hover over a certain spot, it makes it take up the whole background there. So something you can kind of play around with just to make it match exactly what your vision is with it. Now, photos, if you click that, this is just going to be their stock photos. Sometimes you got to pay some rights for it. So if I were to click morgue and I didn't have one personalized, you can see like I got to pay for some of these. Actually, I got to pay for most of these. Wouldn't have worked at all for me. Plus, I just like the feeling of it being customized if possible. So that's like for an Instagram post there. Not worth saving. Um, but you can see just kind of working your way through here. The Instagram post is important because it's going to fit the specific size typically presented with an Instagram post. And then you can link your Instagram to Facebook so that you post on both simultaneously. You can do logo design, you can make posters, cards. Trying to think what I think this certificate is what I use to make my PhD in running away. Um, let's see. I had someone asking me, warning shot on Facebook Gaming asked me about making a uh, Facebook cover photo. So sometimes if you're having a hard time finding it there, you go to your templates here, social media, Facebook cover. So you'd click that and you can see you have the size here. Now, what's important to know about that is Facebook and YouTube, I believe, are a little bit particular about if it's being viewed on a phone, it might only show part of it. So it takes some cropping and adjusting to make sure that if you are on all devices, it looks equal or it looks acceptable so that it was kind of designed that way versus say I have if I were to just take one of these and then I'm looking at it on my phone versus on my computer, it might take like a small little cutout that doesn't exactly tell me anything. Uh, Also can be a little difficult to make sure that it gets it centered as well. So you really have to play around with the dimensions and position. Honestly, that's just kind of like going back and forth with it and trying to find what works best. Uh, but it is very doable for sure. All right, let's go back. So we made that little design. I'm curious. Oh yeah, so it is still here. I'm not going to keep that because I don't really care about that. But so I'm going to get rid of it. Same thing with this one. Yeah, so hopefully you guys can see some of my earlier templates here before we got a little more official. Uh, Hopefully that gives you an idea of things that you can mess with on here. So, one other thing I was going to show you. So I'm going to go back to this one. So if I click this, you can actually change the transparency of it as well. So if I move this, I can make it so that it seems more solid or invisible just based on whatever transparency level that you want to go with for that. Um, but you can see what I did here. I made a border, put my logo in the background, transparent, put a few pictures. Um, the uh, graphics that I chose here were a couple check marks, arrows, check marks here, put stuff in like that. Another thing that I also forgot to mention. So if I go to, I think it's frame. No, no, yeah, frame right down here actually. So see these odd shapes here. If I were to put, let me make a new one of these. All right, so we're gonna get that out of the way. So let's say I want to use this frame. What this does is you can see these little grids here. A picture that I have, if I were to drag one in there, and I'll go with my uploads. So we go with one here, one here, one here. What that does is it makes it so that the picture fits a specific format. So I'm going to get rid of this whole thing. And instead, let's go back to our elements. Let's say instead I want it to look like a computer screen. I could then upload a photo. Oops. There we go. Onto there like that. And see how it kind of cuts off how the picture was? If I were to double click that, I can drag it down so that then it takes a different part or a different component of the picture. But those grids, the what they call frames, have a lot of different shapes. So again, play around with that depending on what design you're wanting to go for there. It can make it so it's a little more easy and make it look a little more professional as well. All right, I think that's everything basic that I wanted to cover for this. Now, if you're how depending on how you're wanting to share or download. So if I click share, I could type in the email address of someone and send that off to them so that they can edit or view it depending on what security you want with it. And then if I want to download it, I can download as different file types here, depending on, again, if you have Pro. Usually these are all free. If you ever have to pay for it, it's because you typically uh, you have some photo or element that is asking you to pay for it in there. So you can always just try and swap it out for something that's free. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty much. Oh, you can present if you're wanting. Make it look kind of like a PowerPoint presentation. I know I've used Canva to actually create an ebook myself, which I'll be posting about in a bit. You can share through different formats. Um, yeah, this is a very useful tool. I highly recommend you guys kind of try and play around with to help with your social media. And if you have any questions on specific features of it, I would be happy to try and help you. And if I can't figure it out, I'll try and point you in the direction of someone that can. But yeah, reach out to me if you guys need anything. Otherwise, till then, keep it weird.